Hi, my name is Michael. I'm a PhD student at LIAG Institute for Applied Geophysics and the University of Göttingen. As part of my research, I'm focused on hydrothermal reservoirs in the North German Basin for medium-deep geothermal energy. Hydrothermal reservoirs get accessed through two wells. One production well, which we can use to extract the warm water from the reservoir, and a second one, the injection well, where we inject the cold water again into the reservoir. For this kind of technology, we need a specific rock which has a kind of characteristic and a kind of properties which allows to flow the water from one well to the other. So there's different way how a rock can have a certain permeability. One way is, for example, that the pore space, so the holes within the pore, is connected to each other. We have here an example of this a large-scale model of a pore, and you can see the blue area that's the connected of the single pore space. So this is probably a model of a rock which has a good permeability, in which we are looking at the subsurface. And now in my research, what I did, I use well data, so core data, so samples which were took from cores, from drilling cores, and I analyzed them like under the microscope and look what kind of pore space they have and how they are connected. And additionally, I want to know how this rock is formed and what kind of processes were involved to create these rocks, how we can see right now. And therefore I took samples like this from the cores and analyzed them like under the microscope, or I did chemical analysis and so on. I analyze the data in high resolution 1D, so in cores, and I combine this information with 1D geophysical log data. And to make a large model out of it and extract this high resolution 1D information into 3D, I use a 3D seismic and bring all of this together to one large model in order to provide information how strategies we can use to explore this rock and what depth values we can explore, which kind of rock, and what kind of strategies we use to drill into the rock and where we can find it, what's the depth value, what's the temperature, as well as what kind of properties we can expect. So the special thing of my work here at LIAG is that I combine basic research on the geoscience hand together with the applied part of the industry. So my research directly supports the German energy transition with focus on geothermal energy.